what up? And as the classic Detroit people say, oh, what up, though?
That's up and get this money.
Period. So we're back, and we are better than ever.
Oh, I love to hear that.
Of course. Amen.
Amen.
So how are you feeling today, friend? You know we gotta let the people know.
Wow, I'm springing with spring. You know, this
New
is
beginnings.
New beginnings.
Letting go of the old. In with the new.
Shedding. This is my new year, okay? I don't align with the Gregorian calendar. I don't really believe that whole January cold, everything's tired, but we're starting over. I like to start over in spring. Yeah. So I hibernate those first couple of months, and I'm just like with the flowers coming
out.
Back to life.
Amen.
I'm unthawing.
Hey.
How are you, friend? How you feeling?
Well, life been whooping my ass, but it's okay because, baby, I still get up and I make it. Every day. And that's what you gotta know. Because ain't nothing gonna keep me down.
Crackhead style. I might wobble, but I never fall down. For real though. You ever seen a crackhead not get up?
Baby, come on now. Well, anyways, now that y'all know how we doing, today is gonna be a special segment because this is the wrap of season 2. Now, y'all done been through us with emotions of season 1 and season 2, child. We be getting into it, getting through it, and getting down to it.
Oh my God!
It's fine. Amen.
I can't wait to see that again.
Bars.
Yeah. Mic drop. That was fire. That was what a way to end.
What a way
Let's
to
go.
end.
Let's get into it. Now I'm energized. Let's do this.
Amen to people and folks. So today, guys, we're going to be doing something a little special.
Yes.
We've been listening to y'all on Instagram, our DMs, and everything. So we got some letters that came from fans with experience, tackling some of the conversations and topics that we talked about throughout the season. And we wanted to get into it. So let's get ready to rumble.
I like that. You went out on a creative limb. You took a chance. I'm here for it.
Go.
It's okay.
I think it landed.
I liked it.
Where they got the ant sound like at the basketball game.
I just like that you took some freedoms. Free will. Exercise that shit.
Yeah. Within range, though.
But seriously, we are very thankful and excited to get into some of the things that you've brought to our attention. And we'd love to hear more from you. So keep throwing us letters because the more that we reflect on your situations, I feel like we reflect on our own.
Yeah, that's the truth. So I agree.
Without further ado, let's get into it. Rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, I'm going to win.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You didn't go on shoot?
Okay, that was intense.
That was horrible.
Scratch. Rewind. Can we edit that in post? It's fine.
I'm not about to do it again because now I feel
we got who? It's on shoot. Come on.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Dang.
I told y'all I was going to win.
She did. Go for it, friend.
All right. So this one is resilience. Okay. Ooh, this one. Yeah, I ain't going to tell you. Okay. It says, Dear Queen's Arsenal, no one tells you that being strong can get lonely. There was a season when I lost almost everything I thought made me, me. My job, my relationship, even some friends I thought were forever. And for a while, I honestly didn't recognize the woman staring back at me in the mirror. But slowly, piece by piece, I found myself again, not the old version, but the new one I didn't even know existed. Sometimes resilience doesn't feel brave. It feels like crying in the shower and still showing up the next day.
I feel you.
I tried to say it without the crack in my voice.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you realized you were stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for? Lord, give me the strength.
The last time. The question said the last time.
Literally the last time. Give me strength right now. Okay, you want to go or should I?
I'll go, and it's quick and it's very cute. I took a nap today. A really good nap. The kind of nap that you just... You're like, I needed that. It's been a long time. And I woke up because I had to go pick the kids up from school. But when I woke up, I was not finished with the nap. And I knew, my body knew I was not done with the nap. And it was like, girl, we don't ever sleep like this. We should be sleeping right now. And I'm like,
I gotta get these kids.
And I'm like, okay, because obviously, like, parenting and adulthood, there's a padding time. So I woke up enough time to make decisions. And I was like, you can take 10 more minutes, but you gotta get up. And girl, I've never been so sad. I was walking to my car defeated, like.
Defeated is crazy.
I needed a nap. And it was, I said it was short and cute because it's like, yeah, no, that was hard. I really needed to be asleep right there.
But you pushed through.
I did. I was needed. There was no other option. And so I did what I had to do. I pushed through. What about you?
Well, mine's a little bit more heavy.
Let's go.
I said, Lord, give me strength. So recently, you guys are the first audience to know, outside of my TikTok family, my oldest son's father passed away. Crazy tragic. It really wasn't something that I was expecting or anything. This happened like 2 months ago, 2 months and 3 days. And then last Monday, I got fired. Oh my God, for my job. It was a great day. Literally. No, but for real, it was a great day. And I'm going to tell you why. There was a time in my life where I felt the exact same way. Lost my job, lost my relationship, losing friends. And I was just like, on the floor, crying. Just like, okay, this must be the end. It has to be, right? But no, because we're talking about this today, these experiences that I'm experiencing. And resilience isn't always being brave. It is crying in the shower. It is sitting in your car trying to figure out what to do next. How should I move? What should I be? Who am I responsible for? But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I am a firm and confident believer that everything that happens in our lives is meant to propel us to our highest good and destiny. But we have to be able to remove all of the bullshit and focus in on the lesson. So that's what keeps me going in resilience, is that I remove all the bullshit and focus in on the lesson. So when I got fired, guess what I did?
What you do?
Start writing my book of poems. Y'all be ready.
Right.
It'll be ready in July.
That's right. That's Lincoln Bay.
Okay. Watch me be a multi-millionaire after they done fired me.
And baby, with everything.
Too bad Aquatic Solutions.
Drop it.
When they say clock it.
That's wild, friend.
Yeah.
I commend you.
Thank you, friend.
For taking
Don't make
authority.
me cry, though.
I'm not. I'm okay. I just think it's really, really like cute and, you know, like demure and mindful that you would take accountability, not just accountability, but authority over your life and say like, hey, these things are happening for a reason, but I also understand that the reason is always in my best interest.
Absolutely.
And walk in that. I think, my goodness, I'm just proud of you.
Thank you, friend.
I really am.
Thank you, friend.
And you know, friend, you know how I feel about jobs and folks.
Get rid of them. Expeditiously.
Hello. I like being on this side of the screen.
Okay.
No, I'm just really proud of you for
Thank you,
seeing
friend.
like there are so many ways that I can be powerful and magnificent, and then like let me just lean into the other possibilities.
And it takes you going through things and actually being okay after the fact. That's what really did it. The first time,
because you like
the first time it happened, I was like, oh God, take me back to childhood. But then I was like, wait, I lost my job, but I'm still paying my bills, and
every single month
I still get my Starbucks coffee.
My little treat. I'm getting my little treat,
baby, and I walk through Target and all of that
with
stuff.
my little treat.
Okay, because it's really actually not that bad.
Shit.
Because come on now, get into it. Y'all better step on that other side of fear. That's a different story for a different conversation.
But in the same space as what you were just talking about, understanding like there's so much to be thankful for, even despite all the odds.
Yes.
My letter, I'm gonna read, is on gratitude.
Good transition.
And if you have not watched the episode on gratitude, please do yourself the due diligence of going back and educating yourself.
Yep, that's in season 1. Get into it, babes.
You be leading horses to water.
Come on now.
You gotta drink. Okay.
Drink.
The letter reads, Dear Queen's Arsenal, first off, thank you. You're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
No. First, thank you. Your podcast has held me together more times than I can count. I'm writing about something I haven't been able to fully put into words until recently. I was raised in a home where be grateful for what you have was used like a period at the end of every sentence. Girl.
Oof.
If I was upset about something, I was told to remember how lucky I was. If I wanted more, I was reminded that people have it worse. Complaining was a luxury we couldn't afford. I already want to hug you. Okay.
No, for real.
So, my God. So I got really good at gratitude. I mastered it. It became my coping mechanism. Now at 33, I have a stable job, a roof over my head, and good people in my life. I should be content, but lately I felt this restlessness, a hollow ache. Okay, girl, so like where can I find your writing? Because
A hollow ache, babe.
like I'm
finna
trapped
cry for you.
like I'm trapped in my own gratitude. When I cry after work because I'm exhausted, I scold myself for being ungrateful. When I imagine a different life, one where I take bigger risks when I ask for more, I shut it down before the thought fully forms.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to be ungrateful, but I also don't want to use gratitude as a way to keep myself small. How do I hold both? Can I be thankful and still want more for myself? Because right now, my gratitude feels less like joy and more like emotional suppression in disguise.
Emotion.
With
Jesus.
love. As first of all, how dare you end that message with love? Because I feel like you hate me. That was a crazy thing to say. I have to acknowledge the heaviness of what you stated.
There was a lot of heaviness in there. Weighty for sure. Like the whole world. Plus the universe.
It's interesting to that's like a perfect example of cognitive dissonance.
It is.
Like, you got two
Absolutely,
things that you're like
competing.
No, I get this is good. I'm safe.
But
You know what I mean?
yeah, but yeah.
It's humans' basic necessities are rooted in safety and community, and it seems like you have all these things.
But you still feel unsafe.
But those are the basic needs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when there's more and you're aware of it, I think also the evolutionary processes put us in a space where we have to that's what we're designed to do, is to want more and to build and be curious and find new ways to expand ourselves. That's what legacy is supposed to be. It's an extension of yourself through the world, whether through beauty or malice or whatever else. But I think that you're making yourself feel guilty for wanting to expand yourself. And I think that's a disservice to your legacy. So I get it. I do understand feeling like I'm good right here. But I think that comes out of spending so much time feeling like you're not good anywhere. And then you find something that does feel safe. And you are like, if I even dare to want more than this, then I'm asking, for this to come crashing down, essentially. Because, that's how safety feels. Like, if you've never known it and then you finally have a moment where you're like, oh, no, I feel good here, then how dare you ask for more? How dare you ask for those? This is my more, just so you know. I'm going to share that. The stairs, the floating stairs where there's no space in between? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want them. I ain't stopped till I get them, boys.
As
the
you
long
should.
ones. The big
I'm going to walk up those stairs with you, friend. I am. I'm going to do that.
That's my more. I want the stairs with the little space. There's no stair in between the stairs. You just stare. It's nice. You don't need that.
Beautiful.
But that's my more.
But you want it.
I want it and I deserve it.
Amen.
And I'm not going to feel bad for deserving it or wanting it because
you shouldn't.
That's again an extension of yourself. So let yourself be. I think that's just the scarcity mindset makes us feel like we have to be small and we can't take up space. And as long as you're still stuck in that version of yourself, then you're not going to be comfortable being as big as you deserve to be. So expand.
Let that version die.
Let that version die. What do you think?
Okay, sorry. There were a lot of things that hit home for me while you were reading it. I used to have those moments when I was married where I would be finding myself feeling like I wanted more, right? Mm-hmm. And then being kind of chastised in a sense to be like, it was always, what about the kids in Africa?
Oh my gosh.
And I get it. Trust me. But first of all, I'm sad about the fact that we're living in this 2-bedroom apartment when we need a 3-bedroom house and a basement. And we can get that, and you're talking about the kids in Africa, so now I'm double sad because
I'm not the reason
like,
for the kids in Africa.
And it really what it ends up doing on the opposite end of that comment is invalidating that person's experience. Exactly. And now you're sitting there feeling guilty, as you said, because somebody brought something to your attention that was similar, but not like it wasn't. Different. Yeah, it was different. Mm-hmm. It was not that. That's not what I was talking about. I was speaking about a dissatisfaction of where I'm at, knowing what I can do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that part, I wanted to address that because that's like, it is a very real thing. And I wish people would understand when they do that to people, it is invalidating their experience. And it's not making you a bad person because you want or desire more for yourself or any situation. Yeah. The other part that was said was it feels like emotional suppression.
Oof.
Yeah.
That was a bar.
It does, because if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling like, okay, I've been taught gratefulness, you said you've mastered it. Mm-hmm. I want to take it a step further. You didn't master it. You learned how to mask yourself behind gratitude. And what that's doing to you is it's dismantling everything that you can be. Because as somebody that's been an overachiever, I have that feeling and that desire in my heart. And, you know, I find myself in situations where people are like, well, just be grateful for what you got. I am grateful, but I know I can get better. So don't let nobody tell you that what you want more should be less. Like, just be for real with yourself. Like, some people are okay with mediocre. They're okay with staying right here at this line. But if that's not for you, then fuck all of them, because that's what they want to do. Let them stay at mediocre. And anybody else that's telling you that you can't reach higher, go higher, do better, be great, that's a lie, because it's in your heart and it's in your soul that that's what you want to do. So get down to it and do it. It's just that simple. And don't let nobody make you feel guilty for that, because people are going to make you feel guilty when they want you to stay on their level. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. I'm done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had to uplift you a little bit, sis, because that wasn't how I was liking
what
it.
What Cardi B said, I know that's right.
What big bad? No, I'm saying, for real. Like, don't doubt yourself at the end of the day, because you got to be careful about the people that you tell your vision to, because people can't see like you can see. So don't keep those type of people around you.
My goodness, girl, you did not have to eat like that. I mean, I'm glad you with the kids be doing this. Like, yeah, you did that, but
because it hit home for me, and I wish I had somebody to tell me that. I wish I had somebody in my corner
really
like,
comes down to.
Yeah, I wish I had somebody in my corner like, nah, that's okay that you want more. Mm-hmm. Go after and do more. Like, do that stuff that you got it in your heart and your soul that you know you can do, but you just need a little bit of push. So there go your push, baby. Go be great.
Come on. Yeah. Listen. Are we? How you feel, friend? Do we want to do one more before we go to break?
We can do one more. We can do one more. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Ooh, this one is about conflict resolution. Y'all know I love conflict resolution.
Let us go.
Okay, it says, "Hey girls, I wish I was better at letting things go. But sometimes I hold on to anger like it's the only thing keeping me standing. There are people I know I should forgive, but people I know I should have better conversations with, but every time I get close to picking up the phone, something inside of me just screams, why should I be the one that has to be the soft person first?
Been there.
I know anger isn't peace. I know silence isn't healing, but it's safer. How do you open the door to healing when your pride is the only thing holding your heart together?" Let me repeat it, because I interrupted because I was reading it. She said, the question is, how do you open the door to healing when your pride is the only thing that's holding your heart together?
So, I'm going to tell you guys a story. There was a day that me and my beautiful co-host went to lunch. And she had picked me up for lunch. I know what this is. It was me, her, and one other friend. We love you, Roman, forever. And we went to go sit down. And I'm going to be honest with you.
I
know the gist of what we were talking about. I don't really remember.
I
what
know
the argument.
everything.
Patreon, you gotta pay for the trauma.
No, for real.
But we got into a tizzy.
Real bad.
Our
first one, though. That was the first one of our friendship.
That was the first argument, first disagreement, first problem that we ever got into. Mm-hmm. That's not true. Fresh Friends was first.
But that was little.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's fair.
Yeah. we talked the next day.
You're right. We literally we're sitting in a restaurant having lunch. Mm. We're going back and forth. I remember getting up and leaving the restaurant. Now, I remind you, I told you that she drove us to the restaurant. So, I said, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm leaving. I'm done.
Done.
And my prideful ass walked back home because the truth of the matter is she was holding me accountable for something. And I don't know if I've ever told you, but that was one of my first adult experiences with someone doing that from a place of love. It had always been someone with an ulterior motive, some sort of critique, or like a negative construct. It was never just like, hey, I'm telling you this because I see it and it's problematic for you and I love you and I want you to do better. Yeah. It was always, you should. It was condescending. It was patronizing. And that was the first time that had happened for me.
Oh, Bookie Butt.
Shut up.
Oh. So, why am I finding this out like 10 years later? Go ahead.
It's me.
I know.
So I didn't know. And I was very defensive. Obviously, walking home from a restaurant is crazy. Being wrong and just be like, nope, I'll just leave rather than admit that. Crazy. This is a long time ago. But that was one of those moments where it was what you're asking about. Like the conflict was, is my ego bigger than the value of this relationship to me? Mm-hmm. And I'm not telling the story to be like, I got home and I thought about it and I was like, I love her.
That is not what happened.
Because that isn't what happened. No, that is a long and strong process, breaking down your ego and being comfortable. She's just now hearing the premise for the story,
just
right?
to give you, like,
We've talked about the situation. I've apologized. Yes.
I don't even really feel like it was an apology necessary. Let's just be clear. I understood that it was something that was a difficult conversation to have in general. So usually I give people grace when it comes down to difficult conversations because I understand that sometimes shit be coming at you rapid fire and you're trying to fucking process it and you're like,
chicken,
hold up,
mashed potatoes.
Right. And like you're trying to digest what's going on. So I give grace, especially with people that I care about, like you said, out of a place of love. So I never really felt like it was an apology that was necessary. It just was an understanding that needed to be met. Yeah. And that's what the process actually ended up being. Yeah. And, that's something that you got to deal with. It
takes time. But you gotta be willing to look that in the face and be like, oh, it is you, girl. Like, ooh, it's hard. It sounds like, oh, yeah, no, I can take accountability. No, you can't. Not like you think you can. I promise you that. I don't care how accountable you think you are. You could always be more. You could always do a better job at holding space for when you are the problem in a situation or you're exacerbating a situation that doesn't have to be anybody's problem. So I hear where you're coming from. And I'm not telling you to tolerate disrespect. I'm not telling you that, you have to deal with anything that makes you uncomfortable. But the equation for me and the reason that we're 10 plus years later here,
we have a whole podcast together
is because I was able to look again and say, like, is my ego or the vulnerability worth the value of this relationship? Weigh the two, and whichever one makes more sense to you, do what you must. But that's how I did it.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off of what you said, like her and I, this is a key highlight that I want to say. When it comes down to intimate relationships, and I don't mean like physically, I mean just like people that you share pieces of yourself with or a lot of yourself with, they're going to pull that stuff out of you. Now you have to be cognizant enough to understand who you can delve into those spaces with because some people aren't safe enough to do that with and some people are. I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think that I'm the perfect person for you to get all that ugly shit out. Pull it up. Come on, let's talk about it. Sure. I'm going to sit there with you. We might get into it. I might tell you about yourself. You might not want to hear it. Then I'm going to hug you and tell you I love you because I do. Yeah, but like, we've experienced that quite a few times. You know, it was funny because I was telling one of my friends about an argument that we had. By far the worst argument we've ever had in the history of our friendship. It was from my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
It was a trying time.
Yeah.
It was a trying time. We're not going to get into it. Patreon.
But
basically, we was talking hella shit to each other. Like, we took the gloves off and was going below the belt every time. And I listened to it because we were sending audio messages.
What kind of psychopaths
we were arguing
like, you're going to hear me cuss you out.
Literally,
I'm not just finna do
I
this
was listening to it literally like last week, and I was cringing.
You still have the audio?
Cringing. Girl,
my friend.
Yeah. I gotta reflect.
I want to hear them.
I gotta reflect to see how much I've grown. But I was cringing like, ooh, this
bad.
Mess. It was horrible.
Mess.
But we both were dealing with the pride at the time. Because, and not even just pride. Life be whooping your ass, okay? Girl. And sometimes we don't speak to our people about how bad our ass is getting whooped. So we turn around and we get a little anxious and we project things out on people that don't need to necessarily be projected on. So I know that you said pride and ego, but I also want to wonder, like, what's going on with you, babe? For real. Because if these are long-term relationships that you've invested into, that you've put time, sweat, and tears into, I'm going to say it's a little bit more than just a disagreement with them and more of a disagreement with you.
Oh, just one last thing. Always remembering that our relationships are just the reflections of ourselves that we see in other people. And the more that you care about them, the more you carry those energies. So... What are you seeing? Is what I think that's what you said. Was that you?
A little bit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Because like mirror, like the people that you like get into contact with and you share these tight, close knit bonds, familial, romantic, platonic, all of those things. They're all reflections of you. And at some point within that interaction, you're gonna see yourself, and it's gonna be a version of yourself that you don't like. Ooh. And that's what's gonna trigger you. And then you're gonna project on them instead of being like, hold on, why I don't like that? Ooh, ouch, that looked like me.
But you came and you asked questions, and so you're on the right track. We're getting closer. We
can get a little deeper.
To that version.
You know, we both certified life coaches, so you want to unpack that. You know where to hit us up. Come on. Book a session. All right. But yeah, that was weighty. So, you know, we're going to definitely come back with a couple of more of our letters from fans. And we're probably just going to, you know, give y'all a little bit of teasers for what to expect on our next season, because y'all been rocking and rolling.
We're finishing season 2, friends.
Season 2. Remember when we did season 1? Oh my God, we was rookies. We was asking our producer, like, did that sound right? That's looking goofy. Like, do we look right? No, we just be walking in all haphazardly, like, what we about to talk about now?
Well, we thank you for being here, and we are excited. So we'll be back in a few.
We will be back. See you soon.
It's a deep break, and we're gonna wrap up the second half of this last episode for season 2. We thank you again so much for sticking. I'm gonna do a compilation of all the times we said thank you for sticking around when we came back from break,
and take a shot
every single time. So again, thank you for being here. We have a couple more letters from our listeners that we want to get into, and then we're gonna do a quick wrap for the season, and we'll miss you dearly, but we won't be back too long from now. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get into the second half, friend. What you got for me?
All right, let's see. So this one is a bit of an angry one. And let's just get into it. I'm gonna just go for it. Okay. It says, hello, queens. Hey. I'm tired of pretending that being busy makes me important. Ooh. I'm tired of the fake motivational quotes, the 5 a.m. grind videos, the no sleep, no excuses bullshit.
My girl.
Okay, you better say it with your chest.
I like you.
You know what no sleep gets you? Sick. Ooh. Angry, empty.
What else?
You know what endless hustle gets you? A lifetime of chasing approval from people who will replace you tomorrow. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. I'm angry that I was taught my worth was in how exhausted I could make myself. Wow. I'm angry that slowing down feels like failure when it should feel like freedom. When did rest become rebellion? When did peace become weakness. Because honestly, I'm ready to burn the whole hustle culture to the ground and start over. How do you forgive yourself for buying into the lie you didn't even know you were living?
Sister.
She sound like she need to come sit right here. No, right here in the middle.
Please.
In the middle.
Okay. So we don't have enough time. We simply don't.
She went on.
I'm so with you, girl. Like, I'm so deeply, I don't even know what your name is. I'm assuming you're a girl. I'm with you. I'm deeply invested in your life's mission. Same. Let's burn it, you know? You forgive yourself by understanding that you inherited something that no one could have planned for the transition that we all experienced. So, this is going to be hard to hear. But we are not exempt to that reality. Every generation raises a generation for a world that is not going to be there when that generation comes of age. I think it's why so many of our past generations are so fucked up. It's because they just weren't asking enough questions. They weren't really having enough powwows. Like, so what's actually going on?
Yeah.
Well, we're doing that constantly, not just with our village or our community, but with the internet. We're here. Okay. So we're like, what? Can somebody...
And who made this acceptable?
And so it's more widespread, and so it's easier to feel those things that past generations have felt as well, but maybe not felt as confident about, you know, voicing their opinions on, or even radicalizing or trying to make changes within that. And a lot of them were compliant and complicit. They wanted it. They felt like it was good enough, you know? 2.5 kids, a medium-sized house, and a decent suburb.
It's crazy.
I was the 0.5. So they, you know, like, it's the cutting the end of the ham off the ham, so it fits in the you know. But now we're getting to the generation that's asking, why are we cutting the end of the ham off? And so you're right in your anger, because it's not fair. But my grandma used to say that, you know, fair is a place that you go to get cotton candy. So it's...
You ain't have to tell it to her like that. She already mad.
I told her how I was told.
Okay. I thought we was changing the narrative.
I'm getting to the point. I'm getting there. I promise you. What I'm saying, and the reason I'm saying it to you this way, because if you're more pissed off right now, I get it. And I want you to understand that the only way to get through it is, number one, obviously, the cliche part, to go through it. If maybe not cliche, because a lot of people don't know that.
No, for real. You actually do got to go through it.
You have to go through it. And the way that I suggest you go through it from the letter you wrote in is by not trying to constrain that anger, not trying to withhold it or trying to keep it under wraps in certain contexts. You know, we code switch, we mask, we do all of that. But being aware and confident and comfortable just being angry about what's going on, because you're not wrong. Your feelings are valid. And when you accept the anger, you can find healthy ways to channel it and go from there. Maybe we go to the range once a week for a while. You know, like, there are different things.
I don't know. We don't know what psychological state we're in here.
You're right. I'm not.
I'm just saying.
What do you think? Because I started to get a gun. No, do not do that. I did not say that.
We're going to have to edit that out.
I meant, like, controlled environment. It's fine. Don't do that. I'm so sorry. Please continue.
No, all jokes aside, though, the frustration is real. And to be honest with you, it was you saying, giving your all to somebody that will replace you tomorrow. Given what I said earlier about just getting fired on my job, you have to understand that prioritizing yourself is the ultimate goal that you must go after. And I don't mean that and let's just lay around and be lazy. I mean, it means to sit down with yourself, figure out what you're passionate about, figure out what you want to do, and figure out how to monetize that and work for yourself. I'm not telling you to don't get a job. I'm just saying you have to understand what your passions and your skill set is, and you need to take that and you need to enhance that and get it to a place where you're bringing in money just by being you, not having to go be something for somebody, for some company that's building up this money and this revenue for them, and they're paying you cents on a dollar. You need to go do what you know you can do and thrive. You need to do that. That's what you need to focus on. If that's where you're at in life, that's what I would advise, because I was fed up with my job too. You heard me, friend. I was like, I'm gonna quit. Universe said, don't worry about it. Literally. And now I'm doing everything that I naturally do. I'm a poet. I do acting. I do singing. I model. So all of that, I'm investing all of that time that I was investing over at that job from 9 to 5 to me. And I bet you when we come back for next season, y'all gonna see the fruits of my labor.
I know that's right. Amen.
Yeah.
Say amen.
Amen. I say.
Oh man. Okay, I got one for you, girl. We're rooting for you, just so you know. Like,
yeah.
just
you got it. You got it. We can check in with each other.
Okay. The next letter I have is, Dear Queens, let me preface this by saying, is this it? Am I reading the right one? Damn, I feel like I need to read that now. It's fine.
She said
I'm to read. Sorry, that was the wrong one. We still love you, though.
I was ready. I was like, preface. What we about to talk about?
Wait. Hold on. I have the wrong one. Is it this one? There it is. Sorry.
We got it.
My bad. Okay. Hey, Queens. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, hey.
So, I'm in this weird, painful place that I never expected. I got the job. The job. The one I dreamed about, cried about, journaled over in detail.
Amen.
A few months ago, I was laid off and barely holding it together. Heard, been there. Proud of you. And now, I'm managing projects at one of the most respected companies in my industry. Period. From the outside, it looks like a success story. But here's the truth. I don't feel like I belong. I keep waiting to be found out. That's in quotes. Like one day they'll realize I'm not actually as capable or confident as I appeared in the interview. I downplay my ideas in meetings. I second guess every email. I over prepare for everything and still feel underqualified. Ooh. I've even started avoiding compliments because they make me feel like a fraud. Uh-oh. I know imposter syndrome is common, but what do you do when your biggest fear isn't failing, it's succeeding, and still feeling empty inside? I work so hard for this. Why does it feel like I'm wearing someone else's life? Warmly, the outsider inside. Not warm. Wow. Terrifying. Thank you for that. Oh, girl. So, I want to start by saying something that I know I've said in more certain terms in other episodes. You will always come up short and feel empty if you are depending on external validation. If you feel like your position, your value, your place in this world is determined by how other people perceive you, caveat, even your projection of their perception. So what you think they think about you. And I say that way because I want to be clear that most times when we're dealing with imposter syndrome, we are really just dealing with our own subconscious thoughts about ourselves. Ooh. No one ever said that you weren't qualified. No one said that you were underprepared. You
got the job.
No, you work there.
I mean, if you need anything more clearly to know, like
you're in the meeting.
Yeah, sorry for
you're on the. But you're getting. That's the point. Like you're there for a reason, and I'm not saying that to invalidate how you're feeling, but psychosomatic is real. Like you can physically manifest an uncomfortable feeling based on your own thought process. And if you're constantly thinking negatively, then you're going to see negative effects on your physical body. So that stress, anxiety, that sweat that you get in your hands getting clammy, your neck tightening up, that, dryness in your throat when you have to present a meet, like all of that is coming from the fact that your subconscious sitting there telling you like, oh, the only reason you're a DEI hire, they only let you in because you only got the job because there's but that's all you. Mm-hmm. It's all you in here. You're doing that. Mm-hmm. No one's doing that. And I'm not saying that to say like maybe no one's ever said anything about you. Maybe somebody does think you don't deserve that job. But
you got the job, girl. You got the job. Or guy, you got the job.
You have it. So, I mean, I'm not saying this to just be like, you're that girl, believe it. And you are. But it is the truth. And that is scientifically based. Sue me. Like,
sue me, don't say that, because what if she sued you?
For what? For telling you the truth? That you really can change. If you know where the problem is coming from psychologically, you can change it physically. You can identify that thought, reorient yourself, and say, that's how your brain works. That's what it is it sees things, and then it has feelings about it, then it relates it to something familiar, and it tells you what to do with that information. And you can tell yourself, oh, I'm actually not unsafe. I'm just not used to being seen. And then know that when you go in front of people and you have these uncomfortable feelings, because that's what it is a fear of perception. Hey, you're preaching to the choir.
Amen.
The girl on camera understands where you're coming from. Honestly,
let's talk about it.
You can go into these spaces, and when that discomfort hits you, you know what to do, and it becomes easier. It does. But it's a muscle. The first thing is understanding that you not believing that you're worth what you are when you're standing exactly in the success of your efforts is crazy. So if nothing else brings you back to reality, let that be the thing. When you swipe your badge to go in, when you park your car, when you in the meetings, you're there. There's so many people that wanted to be there that aren't. Be there. What do you think?
We've heard it. Nah, I mean, the first time I heard it was on Aquila and the Bee was when she was talking about our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate, but we're powerful beyond measure. So, babe, what I'm going to tell you to do is you're going to write on your mirror with lipstick, motherfucking dry erase, whatever, some affirmations. I am powerful beyond measure. I can do anything I put my mind to do. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. And I got this. Write it down, rewind it, do what you got to do, and stop letting this get ahead of you, and know in your heart and in your soul that you're divinely where you need to be at every time. When it's bullshit, when it's praise, when it's grace, when it's detrimental, every single moment that you're facing, every single moment, you're there, and you have everything it takes in you to get through it. And that's just the end of the story.
How dare you disrespect the former version of yourself that dreamed of this by apologizing for not being mediocre?
What?
What are you complaining about?
Girl.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I'm sorry we didn't get that all cute for you.
I couldn't because,
you literally just sat here and told us you're doing everything that you manifested, that you drew. Now, to be on the... I can attest for this. And friends, you know, my house...
Okay.
I put blood, sweat, and tears into that house. I mean, lost relationships, okay? Got the thing and was not like, I wasn't happy with it. Ooh. So it's not like I don't understand what you're talking about. Yeah. Get over it. Because you deserve it. And I told you, write the affirmation down. That's it. That's all. We ain't got nothing else for you. You already doing the work. Keep doing it.
Just real quick, just so you know, because life flows like this, there'll be another time that you wish things were better. It'll come. That's how things happen. So enjoy these moments.
Please.
Okay.
Gratitude.
That's all. I promise. That's it. I'm done.
You better watch the previous episodes and take some notes because it don't sound like you was clocking in.
We got a little aggressive, but baby girl, you're bawling. Like, you're having a bawl. You're over there like, whoa, it's me. It's okay. You're fine. You're safe. We love you.
Watch Gratitude. Sorry.
What you got?
Almost pissed me off a little bit. I never thought. All right. Jeez Louise. It says, hey, sis. Okay. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
You ever look back at a version of yourself and just want to slap her?
Yeah.
Because that's me right now. I'm mad as hell that I stayed. I stayed in friendships that drained me. I stayed in jobs that suffocated me. I stayed in relationships where I shrank myself smaller and smaller, thinking love meant disappearing. And the worst part, nobody held a gun to my head. I betrayed myself. I chose easy over worthy, comfort over calling. Now I'm sitting here rebuilding a life from scratch, furious at all the times I knew better and still chose less. How do you forgive yourself for all the times you settled when you knew deep down you deserved more? Well, baby. So yes, I did want to slap. No, actually, run that back. After I did the work, the former version of myself, I wanted to hug. Let's just be clear.
I like that.
Because we only know what we know while we know it until we begin to learn more.
Yeah.
So Yeah, you're mad at yourself. You want to know why you're mad at yourself? Because you've evolved.
Yeah.
Because you understand things from a different lens. Because you now realize that probably most of the stuff that you were experiencing and that you were settling in was just your trauma response to the reality that you were seeing around you. So give yourself a little grace. Let's start there. Don't beat yourself up, because we do very well at that. They're exceptional, actually. Let's be exceptional at loving ourselves through that mess, because we like to think that we have it all, but we don't. That's just true. We don't. We can get there, but we have to go through the processes. And you're at a very good and delicate place to be. You're mad at yourself for accepting stuff you shouldn't have did. You knew you shouldn't have. There was my therapist likes to say, in my shanana, in your shanana, you felt like something was going amok, but you stepped into your power by acknowledging the fact that you realized that wasn't something that you should have dealt with. But guess what? Tomorrow is a new day. Don't deal with it tomorrow. Let it go. Forgive yourself for dealing with the stuff that you dealt with. Let that go. Give yourself grace. Tell your former version of yourself that dealt with that self, I'm sorry I did that, and I love you. But let's move on with grace, and let's move on with power, and let's move on with purpose, and let's get on to the better steps in life. And that's it.
Right. Honestly, yeah. It just sounds like you're in a transitional period. Like you just got into the phase where you're self-aware enough to know when, someone was treating you poorly. And if I don't know if you are, but I'm going to assume you may be a bit of a people pleaser. And so,
Aren't we all?
when you realize that, it's literally like that scene in Mrs. Doubtfire. It's just like the whole time. You had no idea that this was happening. Somebody was playing in your face like this. And then it like all becomes very clear. And
you want to know what I just heard? Christina's gone. Bye.
Yo, like that's it. Christina's gone.
She's gone.
You're someone else now, and that's okay. And it's okay to look back on that, but yeah, give yourself grace in that space. You're growing, and it's supposed to be uncomfortable. So
yeah,
Well,
that's all that we have for the letters, but we always got to end with a little ambition audit. Ooh. Now, if y'all been watching and y'all are faithful followers, or even if you're new, but I'm going to let you know, if you new, it's going to be a lot more difficult than if you was with us for a while. Okay?
Enjoy.
So, I need y'all to compile all y'all notes, all y'all understandings and revelations that y'all have had throughout this season. You can even throw in last season if you want to, and come up with something that is purpose driven towards your higher self, who you want to be, what you want to do, where you want to be, how much money you want to have, who you want to be with, all of the things. Create that vision and just live like that person for the day.
Ooh.
Cute.
I like it. I'm a fan. And I want you to do the complete fucking opposite. I want you to write a letter to that dirty little vulnerable, uncomfortable, small, scared version of yourself that is in the deepest recesses of your subconscious. And, maybe this is an episode for season 3, but it's also probably the one controlling your ego. I want you to write to them and comfort them.
Amen.
I want you to give them all the tools that you've learned through our seasons 1 and 2 that you've applied in your own life, all the advice that you heard here today. I want you to take all of that into account and hopefully do some reading and research of your own as well, because we are advocates for finding your own scientific backing on things that you believe in. That's a different story. But I want you to take everything and I want you to apply it as the resilience factors and an emergency plan for that future version of yourself. I want you to give them an escape, and in case of emergency, ICOE, to see how you're going to get through when you feel like that version of yourself. Create the plan and comfort them and assure them that you know exactly where they're coming from, and this is why we're going to do it, and this is what we're going to do. And we would love for you to share them with us.
Oh my gosh.
Drop them in our inbox
so
we can read them.
The duality that we got them working in. Not you got to have your higher self ready and your former self prepared to deal with the things that you're going to face in your higher self. Amen to that, friend.
Did that, baby.
Did that big one. Now, if y'all not ready to do the work, shame on you.
At this
because
point,
we gave y'all all y'all needed.
In
now,
this economy.
Come on now. Get with the program or get lost.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you already know.
Thank you so much for being back here for the conclusion of season 2, bro. I am going to stitch this moment with the moment that we first did this. I said we did a thing because we did a thing.
And the thing is thinking, if I might add.
Bow, 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 bow. Wow, wow. But no, thank you all for being here. You're new here, and this is like how you're getting acquainted with us. We're still on YouTube. We're still on Spotify. We're still on Instagram and TikTok. Queen's Arsenal. You can find us everywhere. DM us, email us. We do have an email. We'll drop it. Call in, send us your letter, send us all your information, and stay tuned because we'll be back with another one for you, friend. Anything you want to leave the people with?
Do the work and do it well, okay? And if you can't do it well, call in reinforcements. Okay, I love y'all as always. It's been a pleasure interacting with y'all, seeing what y'all got to say, laughing at y'all with the comments on Instagram because y'all do be commenting.
Y'all are crazy.
And y'all got the vibes. We love y'all, and we will see y'all next season. And be on the lookout for that Patreon because we got the real tea over there.
The real fans know. If you get it, you get it.
Okay. Love y'all.